Airfares, it was funny, I was talking to a friend just last week who was like so exasperated. He said, I was paying this much for my trip to see my mom, and now it's this much more. And then I was looking at flights to go see her again, and it was this much more than that. And airfares have gone crazy. And fares are up so much higher, and the airline executives, the CFOs of airlines, in conversations with financial analysts with Wall Street, have been really beating their chests about how much more revenue they're getting per available seat mile, per passenger sitting in a plane, and that they're feeling really positive about it. Well, I want to tell you a couple of things that seem pretty clear to me with the trends. One is that airlines, when they get excited like this, that revenue is going so well, they start adding more flights, more planes, more routes. The key to you saving money this spring and summer is going to be looking for the new routes. Those ads you may tune out when you're online or you see an ad or something. When they're announcing new service, that's when you're going to find great deals on that airline and someone else. Also, if you look at there's two discounters that came of age during COVID that have been below the radar, both growing quite quickly, adding a lot of planes, Avelo and also Breeze. These two airlines steadily adding service out of secondary airports, following a business model very similar, both of them, to Allegiant, where they don't necessarily fly the routes every day of the week, but they fly from secondary or third level airports to places that are very tourist oriented. And so these two airlines, nobody seems to know they're out there, but they both provide an opportunity for potential additional savings for you at a time that the airlines we're used to have been pushing fares up. Then there's a third thing about air travel, cruises, tours, anything else. September is your friend, because the peak of airfares really ends mid-August. And so many various things we do in travel, the fares go into what traditionally has been called shoulder season. Once kids start going back to school, it sucks a lot of the demand out of the travel market. So September, where weather is still great most places, and what's funny, in Europe, temperatures in September are higher in most of Europe than they are in May. So you actually have better weather, don't have as much daylight as you do in May, but the airfares tend to be much cheaper. Fall and especially winter outside of key peak weeks, that's where the deals are going to be for now. But I can tell you, I guarantee you, airlines, when they're making money like they are now, they without fail, they think, oh man, this is great. We're going to hire more people. We're going to buy more planes. We're going to fly more routes. And then they create new supply and the fares come down at the same time as the Federal Reserve is engineering ultimately a slowdown of our economy. It's going to be a great time for bargain travelers as the economy goes into a lower gear, when it does. All right, so passports. U.S. Passport Office had really gotten the horrid delays of passport renewals and issuance under control till just recently. And the newest update from the U.S. Passport Office is they're messing up again. And expedited passports, the time to receive one basically doubled. Getting a new passport, expedited renewals I'm talking about, getting a new passport, the time to get it is up about 50%. So know that you need the time the advanced planning. And for most countries in the world, those of you with an existing passport, if you're traveling later this year, know that your passport has to have 6 or more months remaining from the day of arrival in a foreign country to be permitted to enter to most countries. So you want to check that expiration date on your passport to make sure you are A-OK. Seating really quickly. Southwest Airlines came up with a change 18 months ago that eliminated, in almost all situations, parents being separated from young children on flights. And at the time I said, this is great. The other airlines that are exploiting families by charging these high seat fees to sit with their kids, that's a no-go. Well, now I told you months ago about Delta coming up with a new seat system that uses artificial intelligence to see that families are more likely to be able to sit together. Now United, Frontier, and American all phasing in new policies to see that families of children under 13 will be able, the parents and the kids will be able to sit together. Now what United is doing is that if you have 2 parents going and 1 kid, one parent may be shunted who knows where on the plane, but the other parent and kid will be together. If you're 2 parents with 2 kids, you might not get to sit together, all 4 of you, but each parent will be with 1 child in the design that United has done. They're all responding to pressure coming from the U.S. Department of Transportation to fix this meanness towards parents with small children.